Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Movie Snips. Today I'm going to be discussing the history of the Imperial House Corrino and their significance as a guiding force and major power player in the Dune Saga. So let's get into this. So the Imperial House Corrino was once the most powerful and most influential house major found within the known universe. And for many thousands of years, the reigning Imperial House of the Landsraad. So the official residence of the Imperial House Corrino was the planet Kaitain, while their personal fief was the ancestral exile planet SALUSA Secundus, a planet which had been turned into a barren wasteland after a renegade house had used forbidden atomics on the planet's surface many centuries ago. So just as a brief side note, I've made videos on both Kaitain and SALUSA Secundus, which you can check out by visiting my channel page. So House Corrino actually originated from the descendants of Octa Butler and Xavier Harkonnen after the Battle of Corrin and the defeat of the thinking machines that had enslaved humanity for centuries. So after the negative reputation earned by Harkonnen following his alleged but possibly justified involvement in the death of Grand Patriarch Iblis Ginjo, who was one of the leaders of the human resistance, most of their descendants abandoned the Harkonnen name and took the name Butler. So following the Battle of Corrin and the destruction of Omnius Prime, the leader of the thinking machines, Khan Butler, the interim viceroy of the League of Nobles, adopted the name Corrino as a blatant reminder of their involvement in the war against the thinking machines. The events after the Battle of Corrin saw the newly formed House Corrino ascend to the throne of the new Imperium. So over the subsequent millennia, the Imperial House Corrino maintained a firm grip on the empire. House Corrino's rule was defined as largely absolute while they sat on the Golden Lion throne. Moreover, House Corrino held a large vote in the Landsraad Council, larger than any other great house. So in relation to the events that transpired immediately before, during, and after the events of the original Dune novel, several Corrino family members and associates are worthy of mention. So Elrond IX was the Padishah Emperor of the known universe just before his son SHADDAM IV succeeded him. So in the prequel novels, it is implied that Count FENRING, a childhood friend of SHADDAM and de facto mentat of House Corrino, had gradually poisoned Elrond in order to prepare the way for SHADDAM to ascend to the throne. So Princess IRULAN was the Emperor's oldest daughter, and she played a significant role in the later events of the Dune Saga, following the ascendancy of Paul Atreides to the Golden Lion throne on Arrakis, after the defeat of the combined Imperial Harkonnen forces on Arrakis. So when Xisia Corrino, who was SHADDAM's third eldest daughter, would attempt to wrest back control of the throne, albeit unsuccessfully. So during the Imperial rule, House Corrino maintained what was arguably the most powerful and intimidating army in the known universe, the Sardaukar terror troops. The Sardaukar were trained from a very young age on the barren wasteland planet of the SALUSA Secundus to be incredibly tough, skillful, remorseless, and fiercely loyal to their emperor. So through their military advantages, the Corrinos were capable of crushing any opposition from any other power player in the known universe. It was said that the only way the Sardaukar could be defeated would be if all the great houses of the Landsraad combined their forces in opposition to House Corrino. The Sardaukar were that good. So complacency and corruption eventually weakened the Sardaukar, and that, combined with ill-considered decisions by SHADDAM IV and the scheming of the Bene Gesserit sisterhood, eventually saw other great houses, particularly House Atreides, acquire significant respect and credibility in the Imperium, to the point where even SHADDAM began to feel threatened by their growing influence and power. So in an attempt to damage the reputation of House Atreides and retain their hegemony, the Imperial House Corrino, under the leadership of SHADDAM IV, set up a trap to destroy their potential rival by ordering them to take over the planetary fief of Arrakis, and then disposing of them with the aid of the Atreides' hated rival House Harkonnen, via daunting and highly illegal invasion of the planet. So what SHADDAM did was that he disguised his Sardaukar troops in Harkonnen uniforms in order to make it seem as if he had no part in the plot. But experienced Atreides warriors such as Gurney Halleck were able to see through the plot by recognizing the distinctive fighting style of the Sardaukar. So initially the plan appeared to have succeeded, Duke Leto Atreides was killed, and his wife, Lady Jessica, and son Paul were abandoned in the deep desert and were presumed dead. However, a gradual uprising by the native Fremen, led by the mysterious Muad'Dib, who in reality was Paul Atreides, caught both House Corrino and House Harkonnen out of balance. So after Muad'Dib's uprising and the Battle of the Arrakeen Plain, House Corrino was forced to relinquish the Golden Lion throne after thousands of years of rule to House Atreides. So then the Corrinos witnessed a legitimization of Atreides' rule through Paul Atreides' marriage to SHADDAM's eldest daughter, Princess IRULAN. So SHADDAM IV and the remainder of his family were then effectively exiled to the harsh planet SALUSA SECUNDUS, where SHADDAM's third eldest daughter, Wenzesia Corrino, schemed to win back the throne for House Corrino. However, Wenzesia's plans were ultimately foiled by House Atreides, and her son, Prince Ferdan Corrino, became the official male concubine of Paul's daughter, the Crown Princess Ghanima Atreides. So in addition to providing the Atreides offspring, that were necessary for Leto II's golden path, Ferdan also acted as his official scribe. So Leto II was Paul Atreides' son and the so-called God Emperor of Dune. So House Corrino was effectively at its end by this point in the Dune Saga, although their bloodline survived, inextricably mixed with the descendants of Paul Atreides. But House Corrino ceased to exist as a great house. So I'd like to thank you for watching and listening to my video today. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And be sure to check out my channel for more videos on Dune.